Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a book review of Night Film by Marisha Pessl. I always have to check because I want to call her Marsha and I know that's wrong. So this book is a mystery thriller. It is not a horror novel at all. There are some horror elements, but it's not enough to classify this as a horror novel at all. So don't believe the marketing. They lie. So the quick synopsis is we have an investigative reporter, Scott McGrath, who has previously investigated the Cordova family. The dad is a director of these horrendous horror films. Like, they're so horrendous, they're banned in like every single country, and there's only ever underground screenings of the movies. Like, it's like really legit bad. There's like a hidden website, and it's just craziness. If anything, if any movies like that exist, I do not want to see them. I am not a horror person at all. Nope. So what happens is Cordova's daughter, Ashley, commits suicide, and Scott's like, no, I don't believe it was suicide at all. Because when he originally investigated the Cordova family, his reputation as a journalist was totally tanked because he got sued and there was all this drama. So he has like no professional reputation anymore. So I can kind of expect him to be a little obsessed with the family that destroyed his life. So, you know. So Scott doesn't believe it was suicide and he's going to do his own investigation. So back into the Cordova's life he goes. I loved this story. The one word that like comes to mind when I think of this story is enigma. You think you have things figured out, but you don't. You just don't. No, there are so many other things going on. It's literally like an enigma onion. You peel the onion layers back and there's just more and more and more. And I will say this, the ending, not like the ending of the actual book, but the ending of Scott's investigation, I didn't like that. I liked the original theory. I was like, yes, but that's okay. It just shows like the power of the human mind on how it can perceive things. And it was just, it was so fascinating. I absolutely loved it. So like I mentioned, it's a mystery thriller. It's not horror. There are some, I guess you would call it paranormal elements, which I wasn't expecting at all, but it was fantastic. So this can be a very wordy novel. I mean, it's 602 pages. Some of it is going to be expected. So it's wordy in the way that Pessl wanted to use this writing style, not wordy in a way of, I need to add fluff to meet a page count for my college essay. So the book is not about character development. So if that is what you prefer in your books, this is not for you. This is a completely plot-driven story. Man, is there a plot. So I was looking at some reviews on Goodreads, and people picked up on some things that I didn't notice when I was listening to it, but looking back, I can see where they're coming from. So if these are things that you pick up on easily in a book, and they bother you, and you're offended by them, and you're the type of person who would focus on that more than the story, I wouldn't pick up this book then. You're going to be too focused on Scott's character flaws than the actual plot. So Scott, and I took this as just this is who Scott is as a character. I didn't take it anything against the author or anything. This is just who he is. He is sexist, he is racist, and he's a bit of a transphobic. So, yeah, again, if those are things you pick up on and harp on, I wouldn't pick up this book because you're going to be too consumed with that and not appreciate the story for what it is. Again, I didn't personally pick up on these as offensive. I just took them as this is who he is. So I don't know if that makes me a bad reader or a lazy reader or a stupid reader. I don't know. We are not living in a world where everyone is perfect, and we shouldn't expect the characters in a book to be perfect. You know, everyone is flawed. The characters in our books are going to be flawed. And I don't think, personally, I don't think that's a reason to harp on a book and give it a low rating. But that's just me. Another thing people were a bit upset about was how Scott, his inner monologue about his ex-wife. This is not a spoiler. You learn he's divorced right in the beginning, so don't worry. Because Scott's ex-wife left him for another man. He is still in love with her. So the things he says he does as a coping mechanism. That is his way of trying to get over everything and fall out of love with her. You know, if you've ever had to deal with an ex, like if you've ever been in a serious relationship and it's ended and you've still had to deal with that person on a semi-regular basis, you know, you do what you can to cope and survive. You know, because he doesn't want, at this point, he doesn't want to come off as, you know, needy and trying to win her back or anything. He is just, you know, I have to deal with you because of our daughter, and whatever I can do to get over you is what I'm going to do. So I totally related to that. And I didn't see anything wrong with it. I'm not gonna lie. I've been there. I've done that. I've got the t-shirt. It's a coping mechanism. That's all it is. Moving on. Now, I listened to this on audiobook. There are some pros and cons to the audiobook. A con is that this is a multimedia book. So there are Wikipedia pages, news articles, scraps of paper. You know, there's a lot of different elements. I'm just trying to find more here for you. You know. And there's also an app. There's information in the back of the book about the app. Right there. So if you're looking for it, that's where it is, because I had no idea where it was. So that's the con, is it's not as interactive with the audiobook, because the audiobook doesn't tell you, you know, oh, see your app for this detailer. You know, it doesn't do any of that. But the pro is that the audiobook reads all of this to you. I'm not gonna lie. If I didn't audiobook this and I was reading it, I would have just skimmed the, oh, okay, yeah, whatever, and moved on. I would have been a lazy reader about it and not read it all. I'm not. Oh, I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. So, and I would have missed out on so much. So, that's why I would suggest the audiobook. But, you know, if audiobooks aren't for you, just make sure you read all the multimedia information, because you're gonna miss details that are in the story later on, and you're gonna be like, well, when did that happen? How do they know that? You know, and it's very beneficial to read it all. So, what I think I'll do when I reread this book, is I will do the app and, you know, get that extra, you know, involvement in the book, because I was listening to it when I was working, and I kind of had to work and not whip out my phone to get the interactive experience of a book. It's kind of frowned upon, you know, not working when you're supposed to be working. It's little things like that that make you an adult. So, yeah, so I gave the book and the audiobook both 5 out of 5. There'll be a link down below on my rating system, because it is slightly different than the norm. Let me know if you read the Night Film and what you thought of it. If you did a review video or a blog post or anything, definitely link it down below. I'd love to check it out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. All of my social media links are in the description box below, and I will see you in the next video. Later!